All right, so my name is Reed from Letaka Safaris. I'm talking to you here from the outskirts of the Okavango Delta in Mount Botswana. On a typical day in camp, we'll wake up in the morning when it's still dark. The staff will come, they'll bring a bucket of hot water to put in the stand basins. They'll wake everybody up, and then people will drift through, come and have coffee, tea, a light breakfast. Before the sun is up, we're out on drive. That's the golden hour. That's the time when the predators are still moving around. So it's important to get out of camp really early and make the most of that time. And that's when we pick up on the tracks and work out who's where and how the rest of the game drive's going to sort of play out. Around about 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll stop for some coffee, some tea, some homemade cookies. And then we'll drive to anywhere between 10:30 to 11:30, and then head back to camp. And then we have a really nice big hot brunch. And then most people will have showers either before or after siesta time. We have a few hours of siesta time, and then we come together for coffee and tea and some fresh cake before our afternoon activity, where we head out between 3:30 and 4:30 depending on the heat. And then we'll do an afternoon game drive, stopping for a sundowner, where most people will have a gin and tonic and some snacks. Usually when we get back from evening drive, the guide will help everybody off the vehicles and the staff will take people through to their tents. There's hot water in the stand basins, and then everybody gathers around the campfire. The waiter will pour drinks for everybody. And then we've usually got about half an hour around the campfire where people will chat with the guide. We'll talk a little bit more about what we saw that day and maybe a little bit more information about the various animals and their behaviors. And then we have dinner. We move through to the dinner table, amazing 3-course meal, and then head to the fire afterwards, and then gradually it's unbelievable. By 9 o'clock in the evening, people are done. We call 9 o'clock safari midnight. By 9 o'clock, everybody's in bed. We have some of the most amazing skies in Botswana. Having a country with such a small population, there's very little light pollution. So we'll often, on a starry night, we'll move the table out from underneath the dining tent, and we'll just dine under the stars. I think for people that come from very hectic lifestyles, after 2 to 3 days, you can see a noticeable change in people in terms of just being more relaxed, no frantic pace. I think a lot of people don't know why they're coming to Africa, and everybody sells this idea of the big five and the animals, and a lot of people arrive with that as the focus. But it's really the tranquility, it's the sounds, it's the smell that creeps into people, and that's the Africa bug.